Yo, what's up guys? So we might just be 1 week out from Battlefield 2042 Season 3, and I feel like we must ask the age-old question, will this save the game, or will it even make any noticeable improvements? Pretty much all the information is now all out in the open, so we're going to go over all of that and what it means for this game. So, a lot of you guys will know about the Specialist rework. It's been planned for months now, and the exact changes was something that I suggested in the video close to over a year ago. They're good changes, and basically, this is going to be the class setup we're going to get. This has a major impact on gameplay. Now, just by looking at someone, you can tell exactly what gadgets they could be using, and you can also impact the battle just by forcing players to switch to an inferior class. For example, if I'm in a heli, you pretty much have to switch to a Stinger, Rao, or Liz. Liz and Rao have a huge disadvantage on infantry combat, as now they have nothing that helps them. Furthermore, if an enemy player wants to use a Stinger, they're going to have to switch to an Engineer class. And none of them are really that good at infantry combat, so just by being a good helicopter pilot, you're actually going to reduce the enemy team's ability to revive each other, get onto flanks with McKay and Sundance, and all that kind of stuff. It is actually really cool, and as I said before, the main thing here is that you're going to have a lot more readability. As soon as you see someone, you know exactly what gadgets they could have, and you can target prioritize according to that. I will say that there are definitely some specialists that look like they're coming out very strong. McKay is probably still going to be the best infantry specialist, and I don't really think Liz is going to be hurt at all. She's still probably going to be the best overall specialist in the game. Overall, some very good changes there. I'm super happy to see them, and I think it's going to add a lot more variety to the selection, despite making some specialists just a little bit stronger. Now, while that will definitely be the biggest change coming to the game in this update, I think the most noticeable one will be the changes that EA are making on the business end. 2042 is going to be on the standard EA Play membership, along with the Xbox Game Pass. This is going to give access to a lot more players, but not just this, the game is actually going to be free to play during short periods in December. For Xbox, it's going to be on the 1st to the 4th of December, for Steam, it's the 1st to the 5th, and for PlayStation, it'll be free from the 16th to 23rd. It should be really fun getting a bunch of new players into the game, especially in regions like OC. The game has actually been pretty dead lately, so that's going to be a huge change for us. Anyways, I will be covering a bunch of the important things for new players during these periods, so if that interests you, definitely get subscribed. Now, another huge set of changes are the ones coming to the maps. But before that, just a random thought. I've been playing a lot of Overwatch 2 lately, and you know what they do with the bad maps from Overwatch 1? They literally just throw them in the bin. They remove them from the game. How's that for a radical idea? You know, in Battlefield, I'd strongly recommend doing this. It's straight up removing Hourglass. That map will never be improved. But anyways, to the actual changes, they're working on Manifest and Breakaway. The Manifest changes are a lot more of what we've been seeing. Just a bunch of assets being added to provide cover all over the place. Especially in those open crane areas, there is now a lot of really good cover. For the Breakaway changes though, these are actually really impressive. They've changed a lot of the textures for ice and overall snow to make them look a lot nicer. And the whole map's just been changed a lot. Like, it's not just assets being added. The whole terrain has been changed on this map. And it looks really, really good. It's going to be a lot less open now and definitely a lot less farmable, especially for land vehicles, but also air vehicles, which is definitely a good thing, considering how the map plays right now. Perhaps the most exciting part of all this though is the new infantry focus map coming to Season 3. There hasn't been any images of this map yet, but DICE have said that it's near their HQ in Sweden, and the leaker god Temporal has actually confirmed this. The map should be called Spearhead, and supposedly it features a remote arms factory operated by Nordvik in Lapland, Sweden. It's not a snow or night map, but apparently there should be some sort of storm and weather effect there. I hope the storm isn't too crazy, as the rain effects actually usually reduce your FPS. Even for me, I noticed that stuff with a good PC. So I can imagine people on the kind of cutting edge of can they play or not, it's really going to hurt. Either way, an infantry focus map sounds really good. Now though, let's get into the stuff that I'm not so hyped for. They're going to be doing a Battlefield 4 final stand and adding all sorts of railguns into the game. The Rorsch Mark IV railgun is coming in, but unlike Battlefield 4, it's not going to be a battle pickup. You're going to be able to use it as a primary weapon. I swear this thing better not do considerable damage to vehicles, and it better not one-shot infantry. Now the second little railgun piece of tech we're getting is some sort of rail tank. This hasn't been fully confirmed by DICE, but it has been confirmed by Temporal. He's almost always right about this kind of stuff. And people have also spotted this screenshot of it. Once again, please don't let it one-shot my precious Nightbird. Please don't let it just insta-kill across the map. Just don't make it too strong and cheesy, DICE. I don't trust you guys, but I hope you can get it right this time. Now finally, the Specialist. It's been leaked, and it's sounding like an interesting one. His name is Rashid Zain, and he gets a health regen after every kill, along with an XM370 airburst rifle. This might be absolutely busted depending on which category they put him in. If they give him fast enough regen, he could easily run through squads and become a really solid infantry powerhouse. Now, wrapping things up with what I would say is the least significant part of the updates, it's going to be the portal weapons coming in Season 3. We're going to be getting the XM8 and the A91 into the main game, along with the M98B, which I think is supposed to be in the main game already, but it just isn't. Now, the reason why I say insignificant is because DICE pretty much never adds the portal weapons to a good power standard. They're always really underpowered when they add them in, they just have no impact. Please, DICE, if you're listening to this, just add them in, even make them a little bit too strong. I don't think anyone would be mad if one of the new guns is really good. You know, we already have the Scar, which has been the best gun for like 6 months now. We can actually get a new gun and have it be good, and have people using something different for once, rather than just never changing the meta at all. Things are allowed to be overpowered, as long as you change them eventually, people have their fun with it, you know, so on and so forth. Just actually make the weapons usable, please, DICE. Anyways, that's about it for the news. Do let me know what you guys think of it. Overall, for me, this sounds really good, and I actually like this direction from DICE. Usually they just add content, it goes well for a week or two, and then it's back to normal. But finally though, they're actually adding a lot of content, and they're going to give new players a way to try the game, and potentially get it for cheap. It's a rare good strategy from the folks at DICE EA. Now, if they do have anything to prioritize here, in my opinion, it has to be performance and input lag. Some of my mates always, like, you know, message me, hey, should I try this game? And I always warn them, and I ask them what PC specs they have. And pretty much just say, you know, don't try this game unless you have a really good computer or console. Even if you have a good computer, if you want to get really good frames, you actually have to overclock it. And if the game was actually more accessible, I think it'd hold a lot more players a lot easier. That's one of the gems about Battlefield 4, for example. A lot of the best players on Battlefield 4 even are just playing on potato PCs. And that's the beauty of it. You don't need a great PC to run that game and even make it look really good. So definitely make the game more accessible, DICE. I think you'll get some more players. Anyways, that's it for now. Let us know what you think of the news in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.